Hey guys, welcome back to Code with Harshit. In this video, we'll be looking into Rust programming language. Well, Rust is one of the most loved programming languages for multiple years in a row. But every time people talk about Rust, they also say one thing: Rust is hard. So the real question is, what exactly is Rust and why does it exist? And is it actually worth learning in 2025 and 2026? Let's understand Rust in this video step by step in a very simple way. I won't go much into coding concepts and complex theory, but we'll be discussing about the language overall. So let's begin. Well, Rust is a systems programming language which is designed with a strong emphasis on safety and performance. It merges the efficiency of languages like C and C++ with contemporary features, facilitating the development of secure and efficient code. Now, the question that might come into your mind is, why do we need Rust when we have languages like C and C++? Well, Rust is known for three big things. It is fast, it is memory safe, and it does not use a garbage collector like C and C++ do. So unlike languages like C and C++ where memory is managed at the runtime, Rust tries to catch the problems at the compile time. So the Rust compiler does not let you follow bad practices when you're writing the code, which might eventually lead to memory issues on the runtime. Let's look at the ecosystem of Rust. Well, over the years, the ecosystem of Rust has really been evolving at a very big pace. Rust is a modern programming language which is focused on performance, safety, and concurrency, making it suitable for a wide range of projects. It comes with an abstract gear logo which symbolizes the system's programming. It's a general purpose programming language and it is suitable for a wide range of application scenarios. It can be used for creating projects like operating systems or web browsers, gaming engines. Many complex applications can actually be designed using Rust. The main idea behind the language is to make sure that any application or a software where performance is absolutely essential can be powered using Rust. It has a very strong community support as well. So over the years, people have really started to get into Rust a lot, and it has a wide range of libraries and resources that are available. So once again, what are the problems that Rust solves that C or C++ cannot? So the limitations with C and C++ is that they are prone to memory safety issues. There are a lot of memory bugs and memory crashes that happen time to time, and a lot of security vulnerabilities if you're working with C or C++, and that's what Rust tries to solve. Rust has a very strict compile time checking, which does not let you write unsafe or memory unsafe code that might actually lead to memory issues on the runtime. So safety is a priority in Rust. It ensures that memory safety without sacrificing the performance, and it combines speed and safety. So Rust merges your low-level control with high-level abstractions for efficient coding. So let's now try to understand the complexity. You might have heard people talking about, well, Rust is hard, it's not easy to understand as a language. What makes Rust so hard to understand? And especially for a beginner, if you are new to coding and if you are just starting your coding journey, starting with Rust could also be very overwhelming. You might run into a lot of issues, you might feel that coding itself is very tough. But what makes Rust so complex to understand? Well, the first and foremost thing is the ownership principle. So, Rust uses an ownership model to manage the memory, ensuring that each piece of data has a single owner, preventing data races at compile time. Second thing is the borrow checker concept. So, it enforces strict rules about data access through a borrow checker that ensures references are valid and prevents dangling pointers. Third thing is strict compile time rules. So Rust's compile time checks may seem strict, but they facilitate safer code by catching potential errors before the program runs and ultimately contributing to your system reliability. Well, that's what I was talking earlier about. In C and C++, you generally run into a lot of memory issues, whether you're doing a malloc or you are allocating memory. Well, there are a lot of chances that on the runtime you run into memory crashes or memory issues. But Rust is a very reliable programming language. It does not let you write unsafe memory code. So, why Rust feels hard? Well, again, the first and the foremost problem is the ownership principle. For any new beginner programming enthusiast or a coder, this kind of a principle might prove very tricky to understand in the beginning. The second thing is again the borrow checker, and understanding how the borrow checker operates can be daunting at first. It adds another layer of complexity to data management. And the third thing is the compile time learning curve. So Rust emphasizes on compile time error checking and can feel overwhelming compared to languages that allow more runtime flexibility. So this requires a shift in mindset for a new user. So here are my final thoughts on Rust before I actually take you to a very simple Rust program where we simply just print hello world and also look at some of the resources that you can use to go more into inside Rust. So, what are my final thoughts? Well, number one, continuous learning. So, embracing Rust means adjusting to the safety oriented paradigm, which may lead to a steep learning curve but pays off in reliable software. So, if your aim is to build a fast software which is reliable and is too good with performance, well, Rust could be your way. Lately, a lot of companies and big organizations like Google, Microsoft have also shifted towards Rust. They are rewriting their software in Rust to get better performance and more reliability into their systems. The second thing is the growing ecosystem that Rust has. As the Rust community continues to evolve, so does the ecosystem of the libraries and frameworks, making it increasingly accessible and powerful for developers. The third thing is the future potential. So Trust is positioned for future growth. It has been around in the industry for almost 10 to 12 years now. This was started way back in 2014, supported by Mozilla, which is again the parent company which built Firefox. So in various fields such as web development, system programming, and beyond, due to its unique features and community-driven improvements, Rust is seen as a very upcoming programming language which has a lot of potential, right? So now that we have talked a little bit about Rust as a programming language, we also talked about some of its features and why it might actually sound a little challenging for beginners. Let's now look at rustlang.org, which is the official documentation store for the language. So once you land up on rustlang.org, which is the official documentation place, um, you'll simply first see why Rust. We have actually talked about this, that it's the it's the three main pillars of Rust: performance, reliability, and productivity that separates it from languages like C and C++. So it's way faster than the available alternatives. The reliability factor, so again, principles like system and ownership model guarantee memory safety and thread safety, which enables you to eliminate many classes of bugs at the compile time itself. So instead of finding these issues on the runtime, you're not prone to these issues, and you are actually completely ruling them out at the compile time. And then there's a third factor, which is again the productivity. So Rust has a great documentation, which we'll be looking at, and a very friendly compiler, which uses useful error messages and top-notch tooling. So once you are on the documentation page, you can come here and install Rust, the latest available version for your operating system, whether Mac OS or Windows. Now, once you are done installing, you can go to the Learn section and you can click on Read the Book option that you see, and you'll see that this has a very well structured book, which comes with a very good flow, which is created in a way where a beginner can come and actually start learning Rust from scratch. Now, I want to talk about a few things here before we proceed to actually write our first very basic program. A lot of people ask, should I learn Rust or Python? Well, the answer is they solve different problems. So, Python is great for fast development, automation, web apps, AI, and data science. But Rust is great for performance critical systems, low level control, safe and reliable software. So Rust will not replace Python and Python will not replace Rust. These are two completely different programming languages and serve different purposes. So should you learn Rust? Well, you should consider learning Rust if you care about performance, you work close to systems or infrastructure, and you want a safer alternative to C or C++. Now that we have seen some key concepts of Rust and we've also talked about some of its concepts that make it challenging to learn, it's now time to write our first program in Rust. It will be a simple program where we'll simply print hello world and we won't go much into concepts which are challenging or might seem a little difficult to understand as a beginner. For this video, we'll simply stick to a Hello World program, which is a customary program that we always do when we learn a new programming language. As you can see in my editor, I have created a directory and I named it Hello World. Inside this folder, I've created a main.rs file. In Rust, all files end with a .rs extension. Now inside this, if you take a look at this piece of simple code that I've written, I created a function and I named it main. To create a function, we use the fn keyword in Rust. The syntax might seem pretty similar to C or C++, so if you know one language, taking up Rust could be a little easy to understand. Now inside the function, I simply said println an exclamation mark and hello world. It's now time to run our program. So to do that, first I'll simply switch to the directory that I created. So cd hello world, and now to run the file, you'll simply say /& and main. And once I do that, you'll see hello world being printed in the terminal. This is how you can print stuff in Rust. For this video, I won't go much into other concepts, but let me know in the comment section if you would like more videos coming from my side, exploring Rust and its concepts, and some more coding videos around Rust in the future. That's it for this video, guys. If you liked the video, put a thumbs up. That really gives me a lot of confidence when I make such videos. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and I'll see you next time in more such coding contents.